Peace on Earth. Ethan Indigo Smith here. The Hermetics of Tao. Part 1. Mind. Let's start with a little metaphor or allegory. A monk goes to the monastery to learn Kung Fu. Kung Fu is not a martial art. It can be. Martial arts are wushu. Kung Fu is a self-development process. Tai Chi is the grand ultimate self-development process. Okay? It is partly a martial art, but it is also a meditation. It is also a healing art. It is also a process to enable people to deal with gravity better, to deal with physical gravity better, and to deal with situational gravity better. Okay, so the monk goes to the monastery and he is expecting to learn Tai Chi Chuan and the principles and philosophy. The principles and practices of Tai Chi. And he finds that it's not at all what he expected. It's actually extremely difficult. The elder students attack him whenever they see fit, whenever he is not paying attention to his surroundings. He's attacked while he's doing chores. The teachers are constantly criticizing him and also frightening him and attacking him spontaneously from out of hiding. The student is really agitated and frightened and not at all relaxed. This state lasts for a while. Finally, he reaches a critical point where he gives up, where he lets go of his agitation and has the expectation that his elder students and teachers are going to get him. And instead of walking around, always looking to see who's going to get him, see who's behind the corner, he walks around with his head held high and is a little bit relaxed, but ready to take on the surprise challenge of their pranking the newbie, right? Of being hard on the neophyte. And as soon as he lets go of his expectations that he's going to be jumped, that he's going to be, singled out in some manner, he starts responding instead of reacting. And no longer is there that energy for the elder students and teachers to snipe at. So, as soon as he's relaxed and comfortable in his environment, he's no longer a neophyte and he's no longer singled out. Okay, so in learning Kung Fu or in learning self-development, there's really two different mind states that are activated, two main different mind states that are activated. There's the learning and the practicing. You have to learn before you practice. This is the difficult part. Learning is extremely confusing and confounding, whether you're learning meditation or a meditative movement. Practicing becomes this easy eloquence where you can find new mannerisms and aspects to learn all the time. while you're practicing, but the mind state is totally different. So while you're learning, your mind state has to kind of be more external. It's difficult to really engage the meditative mind state while you're learning. While you're practicing, that is the mind state that you're in. So there's a huge difference between learning and practicing. Practicing enables you to let go of all the tools of learning. The meditation app, your teacher, the book, everything. All you need for Tai Chi is flat ground and gravity, right? All you need for meditation is to go inside, right? After you've engaged some learning. So let's elaborate on that. This mind lesson with is it Schopenhauer's? I think it's Schopenhauer's consciousness competence model. Forgive me if I'm attributing it to him falsely, but that's, you can find it. I think it's Schopenhauer. I'm going spontaneous here. There is unconscious incompetence. This is the first level of learning, whether it's Tai Chi, which is a process that enables you to learn everything else more adeptly. Or whatever it is. The conscious competence model, it has 4 stages, and there's the polarity, and there's the polarity of each aspect that's polarized, right? This is a pretty common fourfold concept when considering mind, and also when looking at the symbol, the Taiji, or what we in the West call the yin-yang. There's major yin and minor yin, the big swirls. There's major yin and major yang, the swirls. And then there's minor yin and minor yang, the circles in the swirls. This is another fourfold process. When one first undertakes an activity, or let's stick with Tai Chi. When one first takes on the practice of Tai Chi, you don't even realize your incompetence, right? You have unconscious incompetence, right? You might think a certain thing is easy, and then in doing it, in trying to do it, it's actually really hard, right? And so the unconscious incompetence is not even knowing how incompetent you are, right? That's the first stage. Conscious incompetence is the next stage, right? You realize that you have a lot to learn riding the bike, but you know your limits, and you figure it out, you're getting it. Conscious incompetence is the second aspect there. Conscious competence is the third level. This is where you start to practice, right? This is the practice aspect. And this is the third state of consciousness, if you will, and this is where the mind can be in the zone, right? Where you can be in a state of learning, but you're internal, right? You're not having to pay attention to the teacher or the process in which you've practiced so much that you can kind of do it without really paying attention. Or, right, when with Tai Chi, can you do it while talking, right? That took a little bit. little bit of undertaking, right? A little bit of practicing. And I'm just making circles here, right? And then refining it, and it becomes cloud hymns, right? The fourth aspect, and then this is the other way, right? But unified, alternating. Unified, alternating. That's it. That's it. Now you know Tai Chi. Make circles. So the final fourth stage of this conscious competence model is unconscious competence. And that's where things start to transform, right? Where you've practiced a form, in this case with Tai Chi, so much that you can find new aspects, new applications, new slight modifications of the posture that might enhance things bountifully. Just a tiny little change might offer all kinds of different potentials and opportunities for one, physically and situationally, if you will. So the conscious competence model is the fourfold aspect of learning and practicing, right? Unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, unconscious competence, right? And unconscious competence is the true masterful zone, right? Where when athletes exude a tremendous amount of force in the smoothest manner, right? Then that's this masterful unconscious competence, right? And so I'll leave it there, and I hope this is a valuable lesson on mind through Tai Chi, and Yang, Yin comes together. I bow to you, and Yang is always in Yin, because Yin rules everything around me. Peace on earth. Wellness.